Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's morning assembly. My name is Sanjana Kothari, and I'm your host for today. Let's start off this beautiful morning with some auspicious prayers from the SNK music team.
जैसे सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया। ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया। भटका हुआ मेरा मन था, कोई मिल ना रहा था सहारा। भटका हुआ मेरा मन था, कोई मिल ना रहा था सहारा। लहरों से लड़ती हुई नाव को जैसे मिल ना रहा हो किनारा। लहरों से लड़ती हुई नाव को जैसे मिल ना रहा हो किनारा, मिल ना रहा हो किनारा। इस लड़खड़ाती हुई नाव को जो किसी ने किनारा दिखाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया। शीतल बनी आग चंदन के जैसे, राघव कृपा हो जो तेरी। शीतल बनी आग चंदन के जैसे, राघव कृपा हो जो तेरी। उजियाल पूनम की हो जाए रातें, ज्योति अमावस्या अंधेरी। उजियाल पूनम की हो जाए रातें, ज्योति अमावस्या अंधेरी। ज्योति अमावस्या अंधेरी। युग युग से प्यासी मरुभूमि ने जैसे सावन का संदेश पाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया। जिस राह की मंजिल तेरा मिलन हो, उस पर कदम मैं बढ़ाऊं। जिस राह की मंजिल तेरा मिलन हो, उस पर कदम मैं बढ़ाऊं। फूलों में खारों में पतझड़ बहारों में मैं ना कभी डगमगाऊं। फूलों में खारों में पतझड़ बहारों में मैं ना कभी डगमगाऊं, मैं ना कभी डगमगाऊं। पानी के प्यासे को तकदीर ने जैसे जी भर के अमृत पिलाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है। मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम। सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है। मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम, आया मेरे राम, आया मेरे राम, आया मेरे राम।
What a wonderful musical piece that was. Now, without further ado, let's get into today's assembly. The theme for today is going to be discrimination of various kinds. Our first performer is Sakshi Rajani, who's going to be reciting a poem by Phil Case about speech defects and stuttering.
Stutter, in literal words, mean a speech disorder. But in reality, everybody stutters at some stage in their life, and one should learn how to face and overcome their problems. This poem has appealed me because it gives us one such message. The title of my poem is Repetition by Phil K. My mother taught me this trick. If you repeat something over and over again, it loses its meaning. For example, homework, 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 homework. See, nothing. Our lives, she said, is the same way. If you watch the sunset too often, it just becomes 6 p.m. If you make the same mistake over and over, you'll stop calling it a mistake. If you just wake up, 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 one day you'll forget why. Nothing is forever, she said. My parents left each other when I was 7 years old. Before their last argument, they sent me off to the neighbor's home like some astronaut jettisoned from the shuttle. When I came back, there was no gravity in our home. I imagined it as an accident, that when I left, they whispered to each other, I love you so many times over that they forgot what it meant. Family, 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 family. My mother taught me this trick. If you repeat something over and over again, it loses its meaning. This became my favorite game. It made the sting of words evaporate. Separation, separation, separation. See, nothing. Apart, 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 apart. See, nothing. I'm an injured person now. I work with words all day. Shut up, I know the irony. When I was young, I was told that the trick to dominating language was breaking it down, convincing it that it was worthless. I love you, 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 I love you. See? Nothing. Soon after my parents' divorce, I developed a stutter. Fate is a cruel and efficient tutor. There is no escape in stutter. You feel the meaning of every word drag itself up your throat. Separation. Stutter is a cage made of mirrors. Every "are you okay?" every "what did you say?" every "come on kid, speak it out" is a glaring reflection you cannot escape. Every awful moment skips upon its own announcement over and over until it just hangs there, floating in the middle of the room. Mom, Dad, I'm not wasteful of my words anymore. Even now, after hundreds of hours of practicing away my stutter, I still feel the claw of meaning in the bottom of my throat. I've heard that even in space, you can hear the scratching of a I love you. Thank you.
Next, we have Rakshit Akbari presenting a poem called No One Chooses, which basically states that no one gets to choose their religion, color, place of birth, or financial background. Thus, everyone should be treated equally since these things don't matter in the holistic viewpoint of life.
No one chooses. No one chooses where they are born, in Taj Mahal or tent that's stone. If Christian, Muslim, or Hindu, what creed or color is their hue? As silver spoon or refugee, as one to fight or one to flee, as overlooked, don't make a fuss, as one of them or none of us. No one chooses where they are hatched, in which land, on which patch. If water flows from tap and sky, or trek for days to well that's dry. As one who yields or one who chooses, one who wins or one who loses. And yet we waste a lot of time on deciding what is his and what is mine. As we need to be reminded by tribal instincts. We are blinded, we have spread the world. We have pride in nation, just not keen on immigration. Obsessed as is the way of man, if they are welcome in a clan. So random is the hand of fate, strange that we still discriminate.
Now we have Priya Sardhara talking about discrimination against women in the form of an art video. Rudra Dhamsania will now recite a poem by Maya Angelou called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams, his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Now we have Shama Kasundra who will be presenting a speech based on discrimination against appearances.
Beauty is a word with many definitions. The first definition of beauty is a combination of qualities that please the aesthetic senses. The second definition is a beautiful woman. When combining these, we get beauty is a woman who pleases the mind or senses aesthetically. Our culture and society follow and expect us to follow this definition too. This discrimination based on appearances is called lookism. The reason that lookism is widespread in the modern society is because it is an instinctive behavior. Another factor that encourages lookism to be rampant in the society is the influence of social media. Attractive people tend to get more attention than those who are not attractive. People spend large amounts of money to be in the society's distorted image of being beautiful, and if they're unnoticed by the people surrounding them, there can be psychological consequences of it on the person. A comment such as, "You should lose some weight," can make someone starve themselves for several days. The question is, who decides what beauty is? The answer is nobody. Beauty is completely up to one's perception. My idea of beauty could be completely different than yours, but that does not mean that either of our perspectives are wrong. Beauty is much more than just appearance. True beauty of a person is reflected in their soul. It is the confidence in their steps, the way they love and respect others, their passion, their spirit, a kind heart, and a lot more. It is difficult to overcome lookism because we always tend to judge people even though we don't mean it. However, it is not impossible. Standing up against people who discriminate others based on their looks and raising your voice when you are discriminated against is the best way to overcome it. And when you do this, you become a beautiful person.
Heta Sutreja will now present a poem called Till Now, which talks about differentiation between humans.
I am Heta Sutreja and my poem is Till Now. Still now, we are educated, we are elite, we are aristocratic, we are identified as first-class nation, we are religious, pious, we are noble-hearted people. But why still religious of one religion hates religious of another religion? Why still one literate is trying to underestimate another literate person? Why still now one aristocrat is against another aristocracy? And why superpower country is against another superpower country? Why? Oh, are we not still civilized yet? Are we? Are we not still human, religious, elite? Are we? No, we are not still. Yes, still poisonous discrimination rules every cell of our veins, blood. Rules our daily activities, our thoughts. Rules our beliefs and everything. Rules us, the toxic discrimination still. Thank you.
Okay, so last but not the least, I would like to talk about something that I came across while doing research about discrimination of different types. So I know for a fact that most of you are fans of technology and artificial intelligence. Yet, what has come to my recent attention is that most of the data procured by artificial intelligence is based on bad data sourcing, predominantly from men or based on male profiles. So, taking the concrete example of, say, seat belts, headrests, and airbags in cars, which have been designed mainly based on data collected by car crash dummy tests using the physique of men and their seating positions. So, as a result of this, women are neglected into the study, and they're 47% more likely to be seriously injured or 17% more likely to die than a man in a similar accident. The pointer soldier for this assembly is going to be that as humans, we have to continuously keep on reflecting on different things going on around us and think about how we ourselves discriminate between different things, or how someone when we see someone else discriminating against something in front of us. I hope that all of you would reflect upon this and that you guys enjoyed the assembly. Thank you. I do hope that this assembly was informative enough and allowed you guys to reflect and think about the types of discrimination that go around in this world right besides you or with you. Have a good day. Thank you.